Okay, hey everyone. Thanks for coming. We're gonna go ahead and kick this off. So we have a lot of good stuff to talk about, an awful lot to share with you guys. Let me go ahead and turn my video off. There we go. So welcome everyone, and we have several people in the house. I love seeing everybody here. Thank you so much for coming. We got lots to talk about, lots to cover. There's a lot going on. So we do have Keith here as well. He's our community manager. We have Tyrone that's going to be on later on too, is just to answer any major questions we have. He's the product lead for Bifrost. So to kick this off, we are going to go over several things. And the first being that we will go over a recap of 2021. Lots of exciting things happened in 2021. And we're going to go ahead and start with that. So in this past year, Bifrost has completed a lot of things. We've successfully launched the one parachain. That was number one. That was huge for the platform. The network is running great right now. We have a second round of VE mint drop. We've launched a Bifrost D app as scheduled. Successfully auctioned the first batch of Kasama parachain auctions, which is huge. That's been great. We've been able to provide liquidity. I think we have like over $150 million almost in total value locked. We've removed pseudo. It's a big deal. The team has done a great job there. Started decentralized governance. Officially launched the SAOP protocol, which is a huge deal. BNC and its liquidity went live on Quora Swap and Polkadot's DEX platform. So lots of great stuff and everything else. Now with the VS KSM live, VS bond markets live, as well as farming, users have no problem accessing their liquidity and getting extra rewards. This is a great opportunity to be a part of the Bifrost community while still enjoying the great rewards that the crowd loans provide. So you still get access to your liquidity. You can actually use that and you can compound your things. And I'm going to do a great demo in just a bit. We had a lot of good stuff this year. It's been amazing. And there is a document. You can check it out on Discord. We'll publish it right after this is over. It's been published already, but we'll put it on Discord so people can review it. It's been an exciting year. So definitely an exciting year for all of Kusama and all of Polkadot in general, but we've had a great time, here at Bifrost. So these events provide technical foundation and market confidence and long-term vision for this group. So we've had a lot going on. So that's pretty much just a general outline of it. Had a lot of success. So we're going to go and talk about a few other things. The first being, I'm going to give a quick demo, of the whole project, and that'll show everyone what it is and what we're going to answer questions at the end. So let me go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to share my screen with everyone. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. There we go. Sorry, guys. 1 second. It just wants me to get back in there. Okay. There we go. All right. So I hope everyone can see my screen right now. And okay, so first of all, I'm going to give a quick overview of Bifrost in general. I think that's what most people are here to see, the actual, meat and potatoes of the whole thing. So, so first of all, here's our dashboard. So the dashboard is really, really well done. I like the design crew, me personally, did a really good job on this. And we have first of all, we show the V crowd loans. This is showing how much KSM has been minted to VS KSM. So that's 170,780 VS KSM. We've had DOT, 1.5 million VS DOT has been minted. And liquidity is 4.5 million. So, and then we have a total value locked at 146 million. So it's quite a bit, and we can see that anytime you come to this. We have one of the things that Bifrost has is a great relationship with Zen Link. So we do have a lot of Zen Link integration. We love Zen Link. So here's the palette as well. Shows the trading pair, shows the total volume. So this is just the general dashboard. And we're going to go ahead and get into how you contribute. So that's the first thing you're probably going to want to do. So if you want to come in here, click on the crowd loan, and we can go ahead and contribute to a Polkadot slot or Kusama slot. So if you're familiar with crowd loans, then you'll understand the basics of this. But if you're not, if you're new here, crowd loan is a fantastic opportunity for you to support a project that you think is going to do good, get some rewards, and help that project get a parachain slot, which is huge. So we have our Polkadot selection here, our Kusama slots. There's only 2 right now going on. A lot of times there's a lot more going on. This is actually a shorter time because we just had a lot of winners. So that's great. We have our redeem function. This is how you're going to access to your liquidity. I'll go over that in a little bit. And we have our market. And this is how you're going to actually sell your derivatives to actually gain some extra liquidity. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then we have our reward status. So this is towards what you're getting, what's issuing, and what's not. So I'm going to go back to here, and yeah, you can always see my contribution at any time, which will show you how much you contribute. So there's a lot going on here. There's an awful lot here, but I think as you use this platform, it becomes very easy to use once you get more familiar with it. Right now, it's showing us the auctions and the crowd loan. So I can pan through these. I can see right here the current time. So right now we're in auction 7. And this is a Polkadot crowd loan. So we're going for the 7th slot. And there's 1 day, 12 hours left. It's going to go ahead and show you the top bids here, which is fantastic. So that's going to be very easy to do right here to see who's winning and who's losing. It's like a horse race. It's a lot of fun. So we have how many people have bid across. We have the rewards. Now these rewards are on top of that you would get. Now we have Bifrost Awards as well. So if you're contributing through a project, you can go to the current project website. You can participate through the Polkadot.js app, and you're going to get more at Bifrost than you will at either of those. And the projects don't lose anything. So that's the best part. So you will not lose any type of rewards if you go through Bifrost. So I really recommend it from a personal level across the board. I think most projects will agree to, well, any projects that are contributing will agree. There is no reason to not go through Bifrost. They don't mind you going through there instead of their own website, which is fantastic. So you can go ahead and look at the different projects. Composable right now is in the lead. We have a few others. And we have a lot going down here. We have Interlay, we have Equilibrium, we have Nodal, Latentry, Darwinia. You know, some of these projects we've actually had AMAs with. So I invite you to join our AMAs soon. We have press coming up on Thursday, by the way. So I just want to plug that. So if you get a chance to join our AMA, we do give KUSD as rewards for checking out our AMAs. So anyway, the winners of these auctions will get a parachain each week during the bidding. So we're going to go ahead and support one. You know, you've done your research. You like Nodal, let's say. So we'll give this one as an example. Great project, by the way. And if you want to start to contribute some of your DOT, first of all, roll up here real quick and show you some of the DOT that we have in here. So actually, you can see a DOT through our wallet. You can see your VS KSM, your KSM. I'm sorry, DOT is the only one that we don't have access to, but we can go to our Polkadot.js wallet. We can see it there. Come back here and go back one more time here, and we want to contribute. So we go in here real quick and go to contribute. So if I want to go ahead and contribute the let me just go to so first of all, go to Nodal, go to hit contribute here. Now let me explain this a couple things here. So here's how much they've received so far. Here's my balance. I have 5.1 DOT. So so I can contribute up to 5 DOT towards this project. Now the rewards ahead of time, it'll show you here how much I'm going to get in VS DOT and VS bond. In case you're unfamiliar really quick with VS DOT and VS bond, they're derivatives. That means when you contribute to the crowd loan, you're going to get a 1-to-1 ratio of each. So to give you an example, if I just contribute only one dot, I will get one VS dot and one VS bond. We do have to do up to 5, but I'll explain that in a second. You would get one VS dot and one VS bond. Now, after the time period is over, you can take your one VS dot and your one VS bond and burn those, basically, and redeem them back for your original dot. So you get your one dot back. You'll still get the 22 plus nodal rewards that Nodal is providing to you. And you'll also receive a small bonus per dot that you contribute in BNC. So you're getting a little extra bonus. So you're getting a lot here. Now, referral address, we do take referral codes a lot of times for projects if they allow it, which most do. You can put in a referral that the project's referral code, so the one you would enter in with Nodal. You put that in and you would get extra rewards down here. So it's amazing. It's a really good way to do it. You still get all that. So let's go ahead and do 5. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5. And I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Okay. And I'm going to confirm. Let me grab the password, so give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I'm just grabbing the password real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. Now what this is saying, I'm going to go ahead and contribute my 5 dot. I'll get 5 VS dot, 5 VS bond, and I'll go ahead and my new balance will be nothing. So I'm actually redeeming. Now you can't see my screen over here because I'm just sharing the one window, but I am going to put my password in. It's going to ask Polkadot.js extension is going to ask my password. Go ahead and do that. Sign the transaction. Just 1 second. Let me go back and grab it one more time. Sorry. Okay. Grab my password from my password manager. I'm going to go ahead and put that in and hit sign. I sign the transaction. It's pending. Give it 1 minute there. And we have success. Cool. Okay. That's awesome. So now we have just contributed. And if I refresh my screen here, I've got my other personal accounts. And so let me do that with the work account. And the demo is going. 1 second to refresh. I'll do my contributions. And your contribution will show up here. It may take a little time, so just be patient. It just takes time sometimes for Bifrost to upload because it just got, oh, there it goes. So we have it bidding. There's the period, there's the volume, there's the VS bond that I'm getting. So I will get access to that VS bond, and that'll show up here, and I can go ahead and redeem it. So you'll come in here, you'll redeem after the auction is won. So you have to wait till the auction has won the slots. Then you can redeem, and you can get access to your VS KSM or VS dot. So in this sense, it would be VS dot, and your VS bond will show up on there in your wallet. So to look at this, we would have it right here, and we would also have our VS bond here. So currently we have one VS bond right now, 0.1. So this is with Bifrost. So imagine you would see Nodal show up here after the slot is open. It tells you how long until I can redeem this. So I can redeem it in 123 days. I can trade in my one, say imagine Nodal showing up here. I can retrieve my one VS dot and my one VS bond for that project and get back my original dot. So 5. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here real quick to our market and show you that. So if you have that available, so if imagine we have the VS dot here and we have the VS bond here, we can go in and actually sell our VS dot in the Zen Link Swap, which I'm going to go ahead and just give you a little preview of that real quick. Let's see if I can actually go ahead and show that real quick. 1 second. So here is Zen Link. I want to give a quick tour of this real fast. So I'm going to go ahead and show my wallet. Make sure I'm on the right wallet too. So, yep, I'm on the demo. Perfect. Okay. So I come in here and I can go ahead and select the different tokens. So imagine that there's VS dot here. VS dot market hasn't for swapping on Zen Link hasn't gone live yet, but it's going to go live very soon. So stay tuned, very soon. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just show you what VSKSM would do. So same idea, same functionality. I'll go ahead and grab my VSKSM. I have 0.1, and let's say I want to swap it for KSM. Do the same thing with dot. So VS dot, and I want to convert it to dot. Now you have your VSKSM and you have your VS bond. Now you can hold on to both of those until you want to redeem, or if you want to access your liquidity quicker to actually use for a crowd loan, let's say, or something like that, you can always sell just your VSKSM. That's what I do on a personal level. So in a lot of different strategies here for different people. But if I trade in my 0.1, I will get 0.45. So I get 45% of a KSM back. Now I still have my VS bond. I'll still have my VS bond that I could sell at the market, which I'll show in just a minute. But let's say I want to contribute to that. I want to get that back. Now, if I do that, that is exactly 45% of 0.1. So that's what you would get back. So you get 45%. So almost half. You get almost half of your KSM back just on the one piece. So if I do that, I hit swap, I go through the process, I'll get it right away in my wallet. Now let me jump back over to Bifrost. So that's on Zen Link. So Zen Link's a great partner and works very well. So I'm going to go back here one more time to Bifrost. Okay. So we're back to Bifrost now. And if I go into the crowd loan here and I look at the market. So imagine you just took your one VS KSM or one VS bond. I'm sorry, one VS KSM or one VS dot. So I took my one VS dot and I exchanged it and I got 45% of it back. Now I want to go ahead and, or let's just say it's one KSM. So 45% of one KSM. So I have 0.45 KSM available. I just sold off. I want to go ahead and sell my VS bond as well. It's like, hey, whatever, I want to sell it. This is the market. So if I go back, let me go back here one more time. Sorry about that. We have all the projects here. So you have all the existing projects that have won and or listed with Bifrost, and you can sell them. You can see right now there's different listings, and that includes Bifrost as well because Bifrost won a parachain as well. So if I look at some of these projects, like BitCountry is an example here, the best price for one is 0.34. So I can sell my Bifrost, I'm sorry, not Bifrost, my Kasama for 0.34, my one Kasama for 0.34, my VS bond. And I already sold my one Kasama over on Zen Link for 0.45. That adds up to 79% of my KSM that I contribute to a crowd loan right away back. And that's the same with Polkadot. So the cool part about that, I got almost 80% of my liquidity back right away, and I'm still getting the full rewards from the crowd loan. And the project got the same as if you'd contributed and waited the 48 weeks with Kasama or the 96 weeks with Polkadot. So you're getting liquidity back really fast this way. This is just one way. You can't just sit there. You can use the strategy that I like to use personally, which is just selling my VS token of that project. I like to hold my bond. At the same time, I have thought about several times about selling it as well. You can also buy at a significant discount. So let me go in here real quick and show you how this works, this operates. So in here, we see the project. The VS bond is tied to the project. The VS KSM is not. The VS KSM is freely tradable right off the bat at Zen Link. You can just do a straight swap. You don't have to wait for a buyer. You can just do a straight swap on Zen Link. So you get access to that liquidity. So if I took that one KSM, I jumped over to Zen Link, I'm going to get 0.45 roughly right now at the moment. It's been hovering around that. And right away, I'll swap, get 0.45 for my one VS KSM. For my VS bond, I have to, if I want to redeem it right away and I want to wait 123 days left on this one, or it could have been, 48 weeks for if it just launched, I can list it in here. And the price is going to go, you're probably going to see the price go up in the listing as it gets closer to the redeem, because you're going to get, the person that buys it is going to get sooner. So anyone can buy the VS bond. They just have to buy any VS KSM to pair with this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you really quick how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and go to new, and I want to go ahead and do a sell. Okay, perfect. So now I want to sell. I have 0.1. So I'm going to go ahead and list that. I can hit the max button as well. Drag the slider around and put the exact amount I want, set it max, and the price I can put in. I could say, you know what? I want to list this as fast as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and do this at 0.42. That'll be the most competitive offer because that'll be the lowest. Or I could ask for more. So I'm going to go ahead and do it at the lowest offer. I want to say it's fast. So, oops. Yep, there it is. So this is the price per KSM at 0.42. That'll be the listing price. That means I'm going to get back 0.042. So whatever it is times it. So I'm going to do the sell. And I'm going to go ahead and do a confirm in just a second. It's loading the transaction. Let me grab the password so I'm ready. Okay, copy that. Okay, so I'm going to hit confirm. And you would see Polkadot.js prompt me for the password, which I'll see on another screen. Go ahead and paste that in, sign the transaction. And it's going to take about a minute to list. I'll get listed. You can also look at the price and how it's gone. You can see it was a much higher earlier. You can look down here and see across the board. So that's that. And just a second, the transaction is going through. So while we wait for that, oh, there he is. Okay, so if I refresh, it should be there. It may take a minute to populate. So just a minute, it's reloading everything. There it is. Look at, there it is. And it shows mine. It's my personal one. So that listing is for sale. So right now, if anyone wants to buy it, feel free. You get a good price on it. People can make offers as well. So if I go to do here, I want to make an offer. I can either buy, and I can either, I can put in the price that I want to buy it at. Sorry, how much I want to buy and the price, and that will put an offer in. At the same time, if I'm happy, I could just sell it directly to the person. So that makes it easy. I just go sell from the transaction, and I just sold it for that price, and I get access to it right away in KSM. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this so I can use this in just a second. We'll go in here, my listings. If here's the listings here, my transactions. I'm in here. I'm not happy with that listing. You know what I realized? It's getting ready to expire. I can redeem it sooner. I don't want to sell it, actually. I can change my mind. Go ahead and cancel. Yes. Same thing. You got to sign the transaction. I should have put in my password to not ask me every 15 minutes. It's my fault there. Okay. Alrighty. So we just canceled the transaction. That'll take just a minute, just like before. It'll be gone, and we have access to that. It should show back up in our wallet in just a minute. So that'll be my VS bond, my VS KSM. So, oh, you can see my VS dot just showed up in here now. I actually have that available that I contributed earlier, and we can use that as well. So that's kind of an overview of that. I know that's a lot. We're going to be working on some videos soon, and I'm going to try to show some of this off, another demo. I'm going to record some videos soon to get that up and show people, explain exactly how to use this platform to make it much simpler, because I know this is a lot. Derivatives are the most complicated thing in the financial system, and understanding it's a lot. So we're going to have some good tutorial videos, but that was a quick overview of it. I want to touch on one more demo real quick, and that's farming. A lot of people are going to have these rewards that they got, the VS bond, VS KSM. Maybe they got some free BNC like we have up here, so some free Bifrost tokens. and they want to put them to work. So there's several ways as well. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and see these. So if I had Zen Link, I could throw it in here and earn some rewards. Look, the API wise are fantastic. Some of them are really, really high. And it's just depending on the time and where it's at. So I have my VSKSM. I have some, say, KSM as well. I believe I have that. Let me double check because I tried that earlier. Yep, perfect. So I have 0.1 KSM and I have 0.1 VSKSM. I want to put these to work right now. So I'll come over to Farming tab. I'll come over here, VSKSM, KSM. There is 44 days remaining here. I have 0% locked up right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do some in just a second to show you. I can see how much money is locked up. There's almost $4.8 million in there locked up, which is fantastic. The rewards I'm going to get is I'm going to get my percentage paid out in BNC, Bifrost token, and Zen Link, which is great. So go ahead and deposit, and I'm going to go ahead and max that out. Actually, I'm sorry. I do have to go back here. I forgot about that. So first of all, I need to take my KSM and KSM, and I have to get some LP. So the LP is matched with these pairs, and you have to go back over to Zen Link to get those. So go ahead and click this button. We make it very easy for all this to to see. Go ahead and click here. Let me go ahead and show you that screen. Sorry, get back one more time. And let's see, there we go. Go ahead and just share my window. Actually, I think that might help us more. Yeah. Okay, so everyone can see my window still. And okay, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and hop over to Zen Link. So with Zen Link now, we want to actually earn money and get some LP here. So the tab that I took right here, let me close this real quick so we can see. I went ahead and clicked on this button right here. Opened up the tab to get some LP. I want to input KSM and I want to input VSKSM. Now the LP a lot of times is a pair. So like the other tab, if I go back to this tab, we have a pair of VSKSM paired with KSM. So we're going to do that. 0.1, 0.1, that's what we have in our wallet. Just max it out 100%. 0.1, 0.1. Oops. Back that up. So let's type it in typically that. Actually, there it is. Okay. Yep, there it is. Now it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and max that out. When supply, I'm going to receive that amount in LP. Now, the way that works is it's basically almost half and half. So it's a percentage based. So farming is a little complicated in this realm. You do have to have both. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Read the terms of service. First time I've used it with this account. Demo account. Supply. More time. That is what I'm going to get. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Transaction has been a success. Give it just a minute just to show up because it may take a minute. Let's take a minute for me. I'm going to refresh the screen one more time. And there it is. There it is. Okay. So I want to go ahead and deposit may have shown up. Oh, there it is. Now it's available. So now I actually have some LP. So I have some LP that I want to go ahead and do. So we'll go ahead and max. And I'll go ahead and deposit. There it is. Now the share was really small because we're only doing a small fraction right now, but it's fine. Go ahead and hit confirm. Again, sorry about that. Refresh the screen. I think it's because I went back and forth. And it's reloading. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit deposit one more time. Hit max. Hit deposit. There it is. There's the new balance. Go ahead and contribute that. So I use my BNC, sign the transaction, and it's pending. So just give it a minute, and it will show up here, and I'll actually get access to my rewards, and I can actually redeem my rewards. Just in a minute. Just 1 minute, almost there. You can also see how much rewards we've earned, and we can see this all across. Now, these rewards are ever changing, so I recommend coming to this page and seeing what's available. It changes quite a bit, and they finish at different times. There it is. So I'm going to refresh the page. Oh, it already showed up. I should trust the system. It does show up automatically. Second, there it is. Okay. So, yep, I have a share. My share is like 0% because it's very, very small, but it's in there. The rewards are there now. They're set, and you can see I'm earning money right now. So very simple to use once you get used to it. And going back and forth with LP, farming is a little complex understanding but once you understand it a couple times to do it, it's like clockwork. It's easy. So I'm earning that away. Now, if I want to redeem, I can easily redeem in here. I can claim. You can see that I post. I'm sorry, I was pointing the wrong one. It's over here. So now it moved over here. That's how much I own. So very small fraction of the pool, given that I didn't do very much. I have 44 days for this pool to be to remaining. Now, anytime I can claim. So if I want to claim this, 0.00011 cent, I can go ahead and do that right here. So I'll just hit claim. You'll see an operation. I'll hit confirm. And as soon as that my claim goes through, I'll see my BNC up here. And I can also go to my wallet, see my Zen Link would show up here. So super simple, very easy to use. So very easy to use. And you can always go to Zen Link to swap. Very simple. I am going to mention this real quick too. I'm not going to give a demo here because I have to do ETH, and that takes a little while. Use gas fees, so we do have to. But if we do want to contribute, you do have some ETH that you want to support on another platform, and you're looking at APYs, and you're like, "Wow, that's really good. I can get 4% at some other place or whatever." But I have to lock up my ETH and not access it till ETH 2.0 comes out. That's a big negative for a lot of people right now. And it's very scary because you want to access your Ethereum, you have to wait until 2.0 is released. So Ethereum 2.0 has to be released before you get access. That's not the case again with Bifrost. Bifrost is huge on access to your liquidity. So we can contribute here. And we have tutorials here. We're going to publish some other things so you can see it. You can contribute your Ethereum to Bifrost and earn 4.4 and get back a VE token. Now, a VE token can be contributed back in and turned back in and get back the same Ethereum at any time. You do not have to wait till 2.0. That's a big deal. So there's a lot going on here, and there's more and more that's going to be expanding on this front. But right now, if you want to contribute, you can, and you can earn 4.4% APY, which is fantastic, and not have to worry about not accessing your Ethereum until 2.0. Who knows when 2.0 comes out? So anyway, that's that. That's kind of an overview of the whole system. I'm going to have some more tutorial videos I'll be working with the team on, and we're going to try to get those out as soon as possible to make that much easier and more of a better experience. And that concludes kind of the demo. So thank you, everyone, for the demo. We got a lot more here to go through. First, I want to bring on Keith Kowalski. He is our head of community. He's going to be talking about things. We're going to go ahead and have some questions, as well as if anybody wants to come up stage and answer questions. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Keith. So give me 1 second. Let me bring him up.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. As you guys can see, we're in the same office here. We actually work together, so it's quite convenient. We can present to you guys and get everything organized pretty well this way. So with that said, we are going to first get into some community questions here. And then I would like to go over our ambassador program that is opening up for a new round of ambassadors for those of you who are interested in possibly joining up and helping us to grow our community. So first of all, Tyrone, are you on the call right now? And are you ready to answer the questions? Great. Let me go ahead and bring them up right here. So I will pan through this side over here, and let's just go ahead and start picking some of these out and addressing them. One I noticed right away, kind of fun. Let's just ask it. Is there a dark mode on the way? I saw them asking in the chat there. Is that something you guys have planned? Not a huge priority, but it is a convenience. So any thoughts on that? Are you muted, Tyrone? I'm not sure if we can hear you.
Yep. So, what's the question?
Sorry about that. Yeah. So I was just saying, just to get things kicked off, just for a little fun question. We had one person asking there. Actually, I've seen a lot of users in the community asking, is there a dark mode on the way? It's just not a real important feature, but it is nice to have. So is there any plans for that?
Any plan for 2022? Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. Is there an upcoming plan to give a dark mode view of the entire D app for Bifrost? Is there plans to get that option in there? A lot of them have that. Akala has one, I know, and some of the other ones have it. So some users have been asking, but just curious if that's something that the team is planning to implement.
All right. So, you mentioned about dark mode, right? Okay. So that's UI functional, and it's something like to do some more increase about the dark UI. So yeah, that dark mode I also want it, but it depends on the time of front end or designer. But the priority now is we want to do the the user cross-channel functional, and the V token of different power chains and the external chains. So dark mode maybe will be a little bit delayed for that, and yeah, that's the answer.
Right. No, that makes sense. It is obviously not a real high priority, but it's good to let users know what the plan is for that. So those either were asking, stay tuned. Once some of these features are out, maybe you'll see it show up later on, but it is something that they have possibly down the road in 2022. So moving on from that, I guess we can just go kind of down the line here and check these ones out. So how do you see the evolution of the role of Bifrost? Once Polkadot and Kasama have the majority of parachains connected, or most of them, where do you think Bifrost is going to go from there? Obviously, gosh, there's so many parachains that can take place. I mean, it's going to take a number of years, but if we get to that, so let's say maybe 5 years out, what do you foresee Bifrost's role becoming?
So in the Kusama power chain, actually we did the and we did get the power chain, right? But in 5 years, that should be on Pogo ecosystem. So that's how we plan to jump in the auction of Pogo auction in this year. So maybe the March and April to join the auction for the Pogo power chain. So um, that will be the beginning of the ecosystem to start with in 5 years. So um, yeah, I think so. Yeah, just uh, just to start with Pogo power chain, right?
Makes sense. And let's see what else we got here. NFTs. I'm pretty sure we know the answer here, but I'll have you speak to it regardless. Um, with Bifrost being a derivative transaction, how long can NFTs and metaverses participate in it? How is that developing? I don't think there's much NFT talk going on right now. I know there was a couple of things we had in mind, but do you want to speak to that so that the users who have questions about it can be aware of what the plans are, if there's any at all?
Yeah, good question. In that NFT or something, or like on market, we are actually integrating with the HRMP with SafeMine, and after we open it up, so the China will bring in the R market token, and that should be the beginning of to open up the metaverse in in Bifrost, and we will actually have to update a function, to let users inject their NFT to the pool, so they can get some extra bonus or some extra entities for the liquidity mining or derivative mining. So that's a functionality we will add in the Q1. So yeah, that's roadmaps in 2022. I will talk about it later. And the NFT will also added up in the palette, in the asset palette of Bifrost. So uh, we will write a new, uh, you know, formulation of NFT parts in the palette. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. So it will definitely be added into the Bifrost.
Great. That is definitely good to hear. Moving on to some other ones here. As far as competitors go, we do have very good, software capabilities here. What are some of the ones you would like to speak to that you think really stand out for us? Is there any advantages that you would like to point to for users to consider? Obviously, there's going to be other up and coming competitors. There's some existing ones right now. What do you think the platform's major reasons to contribute through us would be that should persuade people to use us as opposed to other routes?
Right. Thanks for the question. The I think the most advantage in, let's say, just in 2022, what we can do is the most important one is open up the bridges with external blockchains. So that should be the most incentive ad- advantage for users. So it will bring a lot of liquidity from outside world of Polkadot. So that should be the time. And I'm trying to say that the the one the advantage for Bifrost is to accumulate more of the liquidity for disruptive. So um, it must be to development based on the cross-chain functional. So that's also the reason why we chose Polkadot to develop this project, but not the EVM version. So um, that's already one advantage. So we want to actually push this forward, and we will basically focus on derivatives and the liquidity. So we will also, enhance some more projects that maybe have, liquidity service or the stablecoin service, uh, actually to grow a project that have this uh, ability to support the V token and the derivative of Bifrost, so we can get closely relationship with them, and we will make it stronger. So that's the plan.
Okay, good to hear. Yeah, it's going to be something that's ongoing, kind of to follow up with what Tyrone explained well there. In 2022, you'll see a lot of these, especially we're going to speak to the roadmap coming up here shortly. Tom and Tyrone will jump on that. But there are a lot of new features coming out and things to keep in mind that will give us a more of a competitive advantage overall. The project is definitely moving forward quite well. And I think you'll see a lot of this coming out in each quarter of 2022. There's a lot of plans that should be achieved as we move forward here. So moving on, whoops, let's take a look here. Okay, and I think this is a good question actually right here. So is there any interest in later like collaborating with someone like Kintsugi or other types of DeFi farming options on Bifrost? Is there any other future plans for that? Probably going to speak to that for 2022 or beyond. But is there anything you'd like to speak to in regards to that?
Yeah, for example, the cooperation with Interlake and Suji. So yeah, Kintsugi is a big one. Actually, we are thinking about what we can do on the Bitcoin. That's also a question for us. So what we can do with that, and Bitcoin is the big part of the asset to bring it in to the public ecosystem. So how you use it or the functionality of it, we haven't have a clear roadmap for it, but it's the asset. I have to say it's the asset. So if we bring it in, so it must be in the liquidity for that, and so we can actually see that's kind of a stable coin or the assets for anyone. So Kintsugi must be the big one, and for others, for example, centrifuge, uh, and some others can bring the derivative from the real world, so that also be very interesting in the near future, because they are actually doing the same, not the same thing with us, but they are doing the interesting things to bringing the assets from the outside, from the real world. So we are also getting very exciting to have some cooperation with them from the product level. Um, yeah, most of projects and power chains that we have supported for the SLP will definitely have the product cooperation in this year, and they will also release their product alive their network. So that's the time to open up the XMP with them. So that's gonna be the time to build the relationship with them.
Great. Kind of alluding to that as well, in a similar sense. And we'll wrap this up. Maybe one more question after this, because I know we got to move on to the other topics and not take up too much more time here. But it's actually a good way to maybe answer for the community. How do we select projects to participate in SALP? What is the process? Obviously, sometimes some are supported, some are not. What do you typically go through, the steps? I mean, I'm kind of aware of it myself, but just so that the community can be aware of it, what are the steps that we like to take to try to attract projects to use us and work with us?
Sorry, please, can you repeat your question? Actually, is that some project might use the type of Bifrost?
Right. So basically, how do we decide whether a project, or how do we partner with a project, in other words, and basically bring them in? How do we decide who's going to be using the SALP, who's going to be a a project that we can contribute to and that we bring onto the
All right.
platform. What's the
All right,
process?
got you.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. In 1 days before, actually, we released an article to describe how we will achieve the fully decentralization of SLP. So that's so essential for the future of auctions for different projects. So in the future, and then I have to say this, maybe after 1 month, actually we are actually doing the SLP component as a GSSDK API for different projects. So in 1 month or two months later, this project can automatically or they can just integrate the Bifrost API, essentially on their side. So the users don't even have to know what is Bifrost. They can just generate derivatives on the side of these projects when they're doing the crawl long. So that's the a big progress that we want to push on, is to make SLP to be a development tool for the projects when they're doing the auction, but not only a channel of to let the users know. So so we will also open source the all of this on the Bifrost development documentation, uh, and anyone or any projects when they want to do the crop loan, so they can get integrate with it, and users can use and generate derivatives on this project side. So in the future, that will be this way to execute all of SLP projects, and we will, we don't decide which one we want to board it on, so it will fully transfer to the community.
Yeah, excellent. I agree. That's a good answer. It's also, I'll throw in another thing we've encountered a lot of times. Tom runs the AMAs. I support him on the back end. People don't really see me in there, but Tom is the face of it. And we've actually spoken with a couple of those projects about bringing them on. So there's a lot of discussion that goes into this, like Tyrone just spoke about, the attractiveness of it. And then we also have the front end where we discuss with them the reasons that it's so productive for them, and it's such an asset to really include and attract more users. So there's a lot of things that go into bringing these projects in, but it's a thorough process, and so far we've had pretty good success. So let me go ahead and actually, what we want to do next, we'll take time just for maybe one to try it out here. Does anybody want to come to the podium? I can step aside, step aside and let you come up and ask a question to Tyrone himself. If you do, go ahead and come up and stand next to me, and we'll kind of treat this as a first come, first serve. So if you want to ask something, come on up with your character down there. Anybody? Looks like Preston has a question. All right. I will mute myself, and there you go, Preston. The floor is yours.
Hello, Preston. Preston. Right? Hmm?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, I can hear you. Nice to meet you.
All right. You know what? I don't have a question. I just want to say that I love what you got.
I think you broke up there a little bit. You might want to try that again. Sorry, we heard you for a split second, and then you went out. If you're still there, Preston, do you want to try it again? Your mic might have gone out, or your audio went out for some reason. Okay, looks like maybe his audio went out. Sorry about that, Preston. I know we could hear you at first there. It sounded like you were giving compliments to the team, and I'll pass that on as well. I think they've done a phenomenal job. Tom and I are both software engineers. So while we're not providing software engineering to this particular project, we're well versed with looking through GitHub files, looking through different development processes, and we've been very impressed with what the core team has done. We can recognize good development when we see it, and they are good. That is a very positive thing about this project that we really look forward to seeing it blossom. It's going to really turn into quite the useful platform. So I'm pretty sure that's what you were going to allude to there. And I would agree with you. They've done a really, really solid job. I'm a user of Bifrost. Tom is a user. So more than just being representatives and helping them out, we use it just as much as the user base does themselves. And it's a bit of a learning curve, but once you know it, it's not too terrible at all picking it up. And it's very, very, very useful for your really just growing your liquidity and expanding yourself in this Kusama and Polkadot network here. So with that said, I am going to quickly step into the next phase of what I want to discuss with you all here. So basically, just to sum it up, we already had a round of ambassadors brought on board, and we've realized that the need to grow the community is quite significant. Since I took over the program, we've had...
Please come on the stage. I will step aside.
Oh, shoot, I'm not on the stage. Okay, let me get up there. Hold on. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so what I was getting to there was we're going to move on in a little bit here. We're going to go back to get into the 2022 roadmap. We'll have Tom and Tyrone discuss that so that we can go over all of the upcoming events and upcoming goals of this coming year, or this year that we're in now. And we'll also get into the scavenger hunt, which is what I think most people are interested in here for the very end. So we'll bring that up pretty soon here. But before we get to that, I just wanted to speak to the ambassador recruitment program that we're starting up again, 2.0. So pretty much right now, we initially brought some ambassadors in, and they have been doing a very solid job. But we've realized the community is growing pretty rapidly, and we want to continue to expand it. We want to get the word out there more. We would like to expand our presence in other countries, and just bring in some more support all around to help grow this further and further. So with that said, I will be providing a link in the chat shortly here. Once I can pass this video back over, I'll provide that link for you. But to kind of give you an idea of what's going on, we're looking for people that are interested in different roles, tasks, bringing out your creativity. I'm the ambassador lead myself, so you would work with me pretty much whenever you want. I'm available as often as I can be. What I'm trying to set up here is the ability to come in and you can do moderation in Telegram or Discord. We have different article opportunities for you to write. We have the ability to go in and do translations. There's real graphics design, all sorts of things. We have some NFT program ideas that we're floating around right now that would be interesting to have other people get into as well. We're also working on a video library. So if you have video editing skills, we have one really creative ambassador that's already working on that, but the more the merrier. So anybody that has these skill sets, you're more than welcome to apply. We'll review it as quickly as we can and get back to you. But you will, again, work with me, and I will be just trying to set up a situation where I'm supporting you as much as I can, but we're giving you the ability to bring your skill sets and your creative ideas to the floor. We're certainly not there to tell you what to do, but we want to provide you a guidance so that you know what we really need, and then you can kind of take it from that point. And there are rewards for it, obviously. We do that once a month. And really, we're just trying to get anybody in that is interested in putting some effort and some motivation towards the project. So again, if you're interested, I will share that link here shortly, and feel free to apply. I will try to get back to it as soon as possible. Probably by the end of, for certain, by the end of this month, we'd like to reach out to the applicants and bring on the new team members that we can. So with that said, I will pass it back over to Tom and Tyrone, and they're going to go over the 2022 roadmap and take any more, I don't know if they'll take questions, but they'll pass it over to the treasure hunt slash, I don't know, what do we call it? The scavenger hunt. So thank you all for listening, and it's going back over to Tom now. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you to Keith and Tyrone. Yeah, some great questions, and we're gonna have more and more great questions at other AMAs, and we have a lot more content coming. So thanks so much, and I appreciate everyone here. By the way, I just want to make that very clear. Keith talked about community. I think that's the most important thing we want here. Bifrost is not just a decentralized application, which it is, and it's awesome, but it
Hear
also,
me.
but you know,
Everybody needs to just take it easy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Just
sorry.
take it easy.
I'm up here actually. Sorry about that. All right. Can everyone hear me okay? So perfect. All right, sorry about that. So I want to just say that, thank you very much to Keith and the community. So I think that is the biggest thing that we want to see out of this. We do want to see the community grow. Bifrost is not just a decentralized application; it's more than that. I'm hoping to see the community evolve a lot. We're getting a lot of great people here. We have a lot of help from different people. So appreciate everyone that joins in. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go to the roadmap with Tyrone. Tyrone is fantastic with this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go over that. And let me go ahead and share my screen. This is for the 2022 roadmap. So, oops, here we go. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like, is it sharing? Perfect. Awesome. So let's go ahead and go to the roadmap here. So this is the public roadmap for 2022. I'm going to go ahead and go over briefly of this. Tyrone, if you want to comment on anything or interject, feel free. For 2022, we do the goal for 22 Q1 is to launch the Bifrost Collator, enabled BNC staking mechanism. It's a huge deal. Tyrone, did you want to comment? Sorry, I meant to ask you. Would you like to comment on anything in Q1, or would you like me to go and read them out too?
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
I know everybody is waiting for the the haunt.
Yes.
And so I'm going to conclude these important things that you might interested in. So we can go over this quick. And for the 2022, we separate for the four quarters, and the first quarter, the most important, like Tom said, is we will live the collator and the BNC staking mechanism. So which means you can stake your BNC and get the return from it, and you can support any collector you like, and you will be a nominator. So it's actually basically same with the Polkadot validating mechanism. Yeah. So that's the wrong time update. So we will also push it to the community and let you guys know about it and be able for it. So the second thing is we actually rebuilding the farming module, and after that you will be able to get more functional from it. For example, you can to deposit some of BNC as a booster for you farming, so you can get higher reward if you do deposit some BNC. So actually, that's a calculation of algorithm how it depends on how much BNC you deposit and how much you share in the whole pool. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that will be the new function, and in the near future you can also deposit an NFT in the pool. So some of the NFT that includes some entity for you. So it will be also another one. That's the rebuilding of farming 2.0, and that's the most important things in Q1, and in Q2 that's going to be the quarter to open up the V token for power chain. Yeah, the horizontal.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And I hate to interrupt you, Tyrone, but somebody if you don't mind, whoever's got their audio on from my meeting. Sorry about that. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, awesome. Go ahead, Tyrone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. For the Q2, so that's the most important about the V token for the horizontal blockchain. For example, the open up the V Kusama, V BNC, and V moreover. So it's actually under the basically same mechanism. So we will do that from the beginning of a V token, and as I mentioned, we are also developing the SLP kit for all the projects want to join the Chrome. So it will be a start to let them integrate with SLP automatically, and in the Q3 and Q4 will be open up the bridges with external blockchains, and we will actually integrate with the Snowfork bridge. They will actually be in a blockchain in Polkadot, so it will be easy for anyone to connect with them, and we will also do that so we can issue the like a V matic near V near V avalanche, something like that. So yeah, that's a big part for the next half year of 2022. So I can conclude mainly this year will be focused on the one is the product function improvement, and the other thing is to uh issue the new product of Vito. So these two things. The third thing is to as much of we can open up the or as many as we can open up the bridges. So these three things are the most significant for 2022. But,
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Open up those bridges, Tyrone. Cannot wait. That's going to be very, very cool. And also too with the Solana or the Avalanche or something like that. That is going to be really cool to see these other tokens. I think it's kind of interesting how Kusama and Polkadot, are not looking to stomp out other coins. I think it's a really interesting part of our community, the Polkadot and Kusama community, that we are just looking to expand, the blockchain community more and more, and not looking to stomp it out. So it's not we're not trying to be the ETH killer or anything like that. So that's very cool. So
yeah, talking about that, it's interesting that Vitalik mentioned about the cross-chain disabling for different ecosystems. So yeah, that's interesting. The discussion on the some party members, and they comment below the the Twitter of Vitalik. So they're talking about the actually Polkadot is they have considered this situation before. So yeah, that's also why we chose the Polkadot. Yeah. So that's
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, polka dot and Kasamas, it's amazing. The community in general is amazing. So the Bifrost community is really stepping up. So it's getting great. 2022 is going to be huge. Very excited. So cool, awesome. Yeah, I think that wraps it up. Definitely want to thank. First of all, I want to thank the community for being here. But I also want to thank some of our people. I'm probably going to miss some people, so I apologize. First, let me thank Lorpus for founding the project and giving opportunity. It's huge. Thank you, Tyrone, yourself, for the product manager. We have an awesome person named Bonnie that helps out continuously. She's like glue for everything. Great. Thank you very much, Bonnie. We have a lot of great people in the community. Thomas, Yuli, got a lot of people. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, a lot of the people. Thank Cam for the business side. We have a lot of people, so I just want to give a quick shout out to the whole team and the development team and Yancey. Yancey's awesome, by the way. That guy does so much for this company. So thank you, everyone, first of all, and we'll go ahead and get into open up the treasure hunt. So if everybody's ready, I think Yancey, you're doing the honors. I think so. Come on over, everyone. If everyone wants to get up and have a chair, or if they can, or you can.
So we are opening up the gate now. All right, so you guys can entrance it.
Thank you, everyone, and have fun. Have fun. Thank you.
都不会用句的，全部堵在那。我要听你们跟他们说一下，可以按句穿过那个。按句穿。